What if that sleepless night, filled with endless thoughts, wasn't just a temporary challenge? What if the tightness in your chest when you remember difficult moments was an invitation to take care of yourself differently? I know how difficult it is to wake up tired, even after trying to rest all night, and feel your mind racing, as if your body hadn't had a moment of peace. Often, this silent tension seems to accompany us every step of the way, making the days heavier and the nights longer. But there are simple, natural ways that can change this scenario. For example, small plants that have been used for centuries have the power to calm the heart and help sleep come gently, bringing almost immediate relief. If you're looking for safe and effective ways to relax and sleep better, here you'll find weekly tips carefully designed for your well-being. Sign up and be part of a community that understands your difficulties and offers natural solutions for calmer days and serene nights. That feeling of restlessness that doesn't go away, the tightness in your chest as soon as you wake up, and the fatigue that never seems to subside are not signs that we should ignore. Often, those who face these difficulties think that it is just a natural part of aging, but this is not true. These symptoms are a warning from the body, a way of telling us that something needs attention and care. Over time, our body becomes more sensitive to situations that we were not even aware of before. This sensitivity can trigger a constant state of tension, as if a silent worry were always present, even for no apparent reason. The accelerated pace of thoughts and the difficulty in relaxing end up affecting sleep and daily well-being. It is a natural reaction of the body, but it needs to be understood so that it does not become a cycle that is difficult to break. Imagine your nervous system as an old radio, which sometimes picks up interference and noise that disrupts the music. When we are tense, this radio does not stop playing an uncomfortable alert, even when there is no real danger. This constant interference causes physical and emotional wear and tear, making it difficult to rest and generating that uncomfortable feeling that many elderly people know well. But here's some good news. It's possible to adjust this internal radio, silence the noise, and regain the tranquility that seemed lost. To do this, you need to understand what keeps this state of alert active and act consciously and practically to find balance. If you've ever felt this way, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to follow the tips that will help change this reality. Type 1 in the comments if this restlessness has already knocked on your door, or 5 if you're still trying to understand what you're feeling. We're together in this search for calmer nights and lighter days. When the body sends subtle signals of restlessness, it is an invitation to slow down and reconnect with oneself. This silent message, often ignored, reveals a tension that can be alleviated with a simple and accessible gesture: the 30-second adjustment. By performing this brief movement, an immediate sensation of lightness and release arises, as if a small internal pressure were gently relieved, making room for momentary comfort. Studies and clinical observations, especially by psychologists with extensive experience in caring for older people, indicate that this brief body care can be a valuable starting point for regaining emotional balance. The impact of this gesture, even if discreet, helps to reduce the feeling of tightness and promotes a more serene perception of one's own body. Have you ever tried taking a moment just for yourself, even if it is just for a moment? Write in the comments, "Just for today, I choose calm." This small commitment marks the beginning of a change that respects your time and pace without rushing or demanding anything. By allowing this moment of physical acceptance, it is possible to notice a softening of the tension that bothers you and a rediscovery of your own autonomy. The sensation is as if your body has become a welcoming home again, where every corner holds the possibility of comfort and safety. Imagine this experience as a light breeze passing through the curtains, bringing the freshness of a new dawn. This is the reunion with your inner self, an invitation to rediscover the harmony that resides in each simple and conscious gesture. You've probably noticed that subtle moment when your mind finds a respite, even if it's brief, or when your body feels less tense when you lie down. You may have noticed that your nights are a little more peaceful, with a sleep that's not so easily interrupted, or that your mornings arrive with less heaviness in your chest. These are delicate but precious signs that indicate that your body is beginning to respond, even if the symptoms are still present. This slight change is like a silent first step, a small victory on the long journey of reconnecting with yourself. It's important to recognize that these nuances represent significant achievements. When we pay gentle attention and patience to our own rhythm, each response from our body becomes a sign of hope. It's not about rushing, but about respecting the time that our nervous system needs to balance itself. These small advances, however discreet, show that our internal collaboration is strengthening, and that's already a reason to celebrate. Imagine that your body is sending you a silent message, a thank you for finally listening to it with affection. It's as if he were saying, "Thank you for taking care of me, for recognizing my fragility, and for accompanying me with affection." This partnership between you and your own essence creates a safe space where comfort begins to settle in and anxiety loses some of its weight. Now, I want to hear from you. Press 1 if you've already felt any of these signs of improvement, or 5 if you believe that everything is still at the beginning of this journey. If this content helped to illuminate your path with more clarity, subscribe to the channel. Each week, we walk together, strengthening this network of care and support. Your subscription also helps to spread this message to other people who seek relief and serenity. Feel this lightness that begins to spread, like a gentle breeze that prepares the ground for the next step. Next, we will delve into strategies that deepen this feeling and promote even more comfort for the body and mind. Many seniors notice that, even after a full night's rest, they wake up with an agitated mind and a tired body, as if the rest had not done its job. Sometimes this discomfort is linked to a habit that goes unnoticed in everyday life: excessive exposure to blue light from screens, especially at night. Browsing on cell phones or watching television before going to sleep is common, but this seemingly harmless gesture can be a major obstacle to mental tranquility. This prolonged contact with artificial lights interferes with the body's natural rhythm, confusing the internal clock that regulates sleep and wakefulness. It is as if the brain receives a constant warning signal, as if something important is about to happen, even when everything is calm. This state of continuous wakefulness causes the body to release stress hormones, such as cortisol, which keeps the heart racing and the mind alert, making it difficult to relax, which is necessary for a restful sleep. Many seniors do not realize that this pattern can aggravate feelings of anxiety and tension, as they have never been taught to identify these small triggers. The result is a routine marked by internal alarms that repeat themselves, causing a constant feeling of tightness in the chest, difficulty in switching off thoughts, and startling at the slightest noise. This restlessness is not a weakness, but rather a clear sign that the body is trying to deal with a silent imbalance. What if this restlessness that accompanies the nights is not just a result of aging, but rather the reflection of an invisible cycle that the body insists on maintaining, even without you realizing it? You wake up feeling unexpectedly calm. Your chest feels lighter. Your mind feels light. But is this tranquility permanent, or just a break from the whirlwind? This momentary improvement can often be deceiving. It's like walking through a silent forest where danger lurks beneath the leaves. Apparent serenity doesn't mean that challenges have disappeared. They just haven't manifested themselves at that moment. The body and mind remain trapped in complex cycles. Accumulated stress, irregular breathing, and old emotional triggers remain active even when we don't realize it. These elements form patterns that resurface, causing restlessness to return. This oscillation is common in those who seek balance after years of tension. Feeling frustrated when faced with setbacks is natural, but it doesn't indicate failure. In fact, the body is learning to trust again, needing constant repetition to consolidate harmony. Each moment of discomfort is an invitation to better understand its own rhythm. True change happens with persistence, not in quick and ephemeral victories. The path to well-being is paved with steady steps, even when the journey seems to take twists and turns. Sometimes calm doesn't represent the end of the struggle. It just offers a quiet chance to adjust course before anxiety returns. Even on days when things seem to be improving, many older adults continue to repeat a silent pattern that makes it difficult to achieve true transformation. This subtle routine, like holding your breath when you're afraid, keeps your body on constant alert, even as your mind seeks rest. Clinically, this automatic response activates the sympathetic nervous system, elevating stress hormones and blocking the body's natural regeneration. It's like trying to recharge a battery while it's still plugged into a power-draining device. You can never achieve balance. Think of your body as a garden. If your roots are stuck in compacted soil, no matter how much sun shines, the plants won't grow properly. This invisible pattern, which often arises from fear of vulnerability or doubt about your own progress, reinforces a cycle of tension and resistance. It's no one's fault. Your body has developed this protection to avoid discomfort, but now you need to ease that rigidity with conscious, gentle movements. Recognizing this dynamic is the first step toward freeing your mind and body from the silent embrace that keeps you trapped. What if we could see this hidden tension as an invitation to a new form of care, rather than an immovable obstacle? The next step will reveal how to transform this resistance into an open path to true serenity. Comfort begins to appear, bringing hope. However, it is precisely at this point that many face a silent emotional challenge, which can reignite old tension. Premature confidence causes us to lessen our attention to the subtle signals from our bodies and abandon the routine that previously helped us maintain balance. It is like coming out of the flu and immediately exposing ourselves to the cold wind. Even without apparent symptoms, our bodies are still fragile and susceptible. This vulnerability can cause an unexpected relapse, generating frustration and doubt. It is important to remember that the momentary absence of our body's silent message does not mean that the process is complete. On the contrary, it is a call to strengthen our daily dedication. Our bodies are opening a gap, and the choices we make now will influence the days to come. It is natural to feel discouraged when faced with setbacks, but this reaction is part of the process and can be reversed with consistency and patience. View the period without discomfort as a window to stability, not as a sign of the end. Imagine a newly formed scar. It appears to have healed, but the bandage still protects a sensitive area that needs ongoing care. Maintaining this protection is what separates a temporary improvement from a lasting recovery. It is in this delicate space that true transformation begins to take shape, paving the way for the next steps toward complete serenity. If you've made it this far, it's because you've chosen to listen to what many people overlook. The body speaks before it screams, and you've already begun to understand this silent language. This journey reveals that emotional discomfort is not a punishment, but an internal compass that points to something that needs to be taken care of. Imagine tension as a warning light, not to scare you, but to show that something inside you is asking for attention and space to reorganize itself. This discomfort is like a gentle messenger which appears to guide your change, not to punish your choices. In the moments when internal silence prevails, when the tightness in your chest seems distant, that's when conscious care makes all the difference. What you do in the calm hours determines the strength of the days when restlessness tries to return. The gentle and constant practice of self-care transforms these intervals into fertile ground for serenity. Comment: serenity, if you feel ready to welcome this new stage with lightness and presence. Press 1 if you've ever felt that your anxiety was trying to teach you something valuable, or 5 if you still feel like it's making your days harder. Remember, this process is an invitation to reconnect with your inner strength, cultivating a peace that blossoms little by little, gently. Sometimes, all it takes is a silent gesture of care for your entire body to trust its natural rhythm again, like a gentle breeze that rekindles calm where there was once a storm. You began this journey perhaps surrounded by restlessness, with a heavy heart and an agitated mind. Now, having arrived here, you bring with you a renewed outlook, more serene and attentive to the subtle voice of your own body. This transformation is not the result of quick solutions, but of a profound invitation to listen and care for yourself with kindness and presence. Your body speaks every day, even when silence seems to dominate. Today, you have learned to recognize these messages, to welcome each signal with patience, understanding that there is no healing without true listening. What your body really wanted was a partnership, a constant dialogue between mind and heart that strengthens inner peace. Imagine yourself as an ancient tree that, after long storms, finally finds fertile soil to grow again. Its roots, once weakened, now stand firm with calm and confidence, preparing to blossom with greater vigor. Just as the dawn reveals itself after the dark night, your body also knows when it is ready to begin again, illuminating the path with the light of reconnection. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who is also seeking this silent comfort. And if you wish to continue this journey of care and presence, allow yourself to remain in this welcoming space. Here, each step is a gesture of self-love, and you will never be alone on this path of rebirth.